It has been a long anticipated and waited moment, but we are finally here and ready to get going for the next season, the sophomore year of the Wawa Cup Series. What a year it was last year when Drew Webb won 6 races and won the title. Will he do it again this year? Well, everyone's back on a clean slate, and we open up the season as we always do with the best opening race in all of NR Offline. Hey, I'm a little pretentious when I say that. My apologies, but when you see this race, you probably are going to know what I'm talking about. You know what's up. It's the Mello Yello SmoothFest. We are here in New Smyrna Speedway for the opening event of the season in the 2024 Wawa Cup Series. Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and welcome to New Smyrna. We are here on the first Friday night of February for the opening non-points event of the season here in the Wawa Cup Series. We did this last year. My goodness, we had so much fun with it. We decided to do it again, and we are back for the Mello Yello SmoothFest here in its new form. Of course, it used to be at Daytona back in the day, the one race. Well, now everyone gets to be a part of it. 4 heats, 2 LCQs, and then the 75-lap feature event. And it's all for bragging rights as well. No points on the line. It's going to be a lot of fun, though, seeing all these new faces in new places and new schemes and new places. I'm just excited, you know? I think you're excited, too. And, hey, I'm joined alongside a couple of owners here in the Wawa Cup Series. Josh Williamson and Igor Breda. We're also going to have Nathan in the booth. We're going to cycle through them throughout the night. Got a little bet going on to see who doesn't get to call the feature later, but we'll get to that in a second. But Josh, I'm going to start off with you. Actually, sorry, I'm not going to start off with Josh. I'm going to start off with the guy who won the championship last year. That's Igor Breda and Drew Webb. So I'm going to start with Igor. Drew Webb won the title last year. He starts in the first position here tonight. What are your expectations for Drew Webb through this season after winning 6 races and winning the title last year?
Well, it's mostly repeating the same we did last year. Drew had an impressive season after a lackluster first 10 races of the year, and then just shot off when won 6 races. Could have probably won 8, depending if things gone his way. So I think he could be able to make 2 titles in a row, maybe finally bring back another team title as well with the help of Semedo. Maybe Semedo as well winning the title, so we just can expect more of what we did in 2023 and continue on from that.
And we'll have to see what you guys can do. Of course, Drew Webb, LJ Semedo start first and third here tonight in this first heat, so that's a good start for them. And Josh, oh boy, I'm excited for your team, man. You got Bruno Di Giacomo, for one, who was very solid in the Truck Series last year, and then the return of the first ever winner on the channel of Jesse Turner. What are your expectations for your team this season as we move forward here in this Mello Yello SmoothFest?
Well, given how things went last year, we got 1 car in the chase, and the other one didn't quite make it. Seth got in, Trey not so much, but we're gonna shoot for a little better this year by getting both cars into the chase. We're going to hope for that, and I think if we could do that, we'd be pretty satisfied. Still building forward. Obviously, we'd like to go out and win some races. We had a win last year at Darlington, but we'll see how everything goes for the season. We'll see how everything goes tonight. Jesse Turner's actually in this one. He's going to be starting from 7th, so we'll see how he does here on the short track tonight.
We'll have to see how it all goes down. Well, here's how it's going to go down tonight. Same exact format as last year. We didn't change a thing for this race, unlike they did in real life on Sunday. The Clash is going to be run a little bit different than how it used to be. 4 heats, 2 LCQs, and then the feature event. The top 5 drivers in each heat will advance on to the feature event automatically. They'll skip the LCQs. They're good to go. The drivers who do not advance from each heat will go to the LCQs. There'll be 10 drivers in each LCQ, and then the top 2 finishers from each of those LCQs will start in the back of the field for the feature event. 24 drivers in the feature event for 75 laps. And whoever wins gets an official win on the channel. These heat races, however, do not count as an official win. So the heat wins here only count to a good starting position in the feature event. However, this one here is probably the one you want to win, because whoever wins heat number 1 starts on the pole for the feature event. And, hey, you know what? Starting on the pole is a great place to start on a short track like this. We'll see a lot of passing here tonight. These guys are going to be sliding around. We're going to see some cautions. We're going to see a lot going on here in New Smyrna Speedway, but we are excited for it, and we're happy to have you along here for the start of the 2024 season. Don't want to waste your time anymore. Let's go ahead and show you guys the drivers here in heat number 1, and show you guys where the new faces are and all that. New schemes as well. You see a bunch of new schemes on your screen right here. But of course, we start out with our defending champion of Drew Webb in the 99 for Titan Fury Racing, alongside Bradyn Perez. Mr. Steelio win right there. Stole a couple of them from Drew Webb last year. There in the 23 for Team Williams in the new Red Bull scheme. We got LJ Semedo still going for his first career win on the channel. Hey, maybe tonight is the night. Titan Fury driver starting to the inside of Tanner Partin there, number 18, driving for Nathan Orman Motorsports. We got Logan Williams, that's a classic scheme right there in the 95, won the Southern 500 to end the season there for Appalachian Motorsports, alongside Laura Chung in the 55 machine. And then on to the drivers who are new to this season. We got Jesse Turner in the 82 for Trinity River Racing. Excited to see what Jesse Turner can do. Of course, one of the biggest names this channel has ever had. Won the first ever race almost 9 years ago. Well, he's back full time in the Wawa Cup Series. Bernardo de Oliveira there for Durrani Racing in the 57. And then you got Bryce Eagan there in the 69. A first-time driver. This is first career start here tonight, driving for Andrews Racing. And then the Sprint Series winner from Wednesday night, Angel Olvera, one of the 4 Sprint Series drivers who advanced on from the Central Florida 200. We'll go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the new Smyrna Speedway for heat number 1. And I'm going to start with you, Igor, because you had all 3 of your guys in this race, so I'm going to let you pick. Who do you think is going to win this first heat at the new Smyrna Speedway?
Yeah, I'm obviously going for the current champion, the guy starting on pole, Drew Webb. Of all the momentum from 2023 carrying on to 2024 and starting on the inside as well on the pole. I think it's the best place to start on a short track.
It definitely is. I'm excited to see what he can do, and we now know what Drew Webb is made of here, so it's going to be very fascinating to watch him this season in the Wawa Cup Series, considering what he did last year. All right, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for. We have waited 4 long months for this, but we are finally back and underway in the Wawa Cup Series. Green flag in the air. We're underway for the first heat of the Mello Yello SmoothFest. And a good jump there to Drew Webb. Pretty orderly start. Bradyn Perez on the outside lane right there, and LJ Semedo trying to find the inside to him, but it is Drew Webb leading lap number 1 of heat number 1.
I thought Semedo would have got a better launch off the start than he did, but not so much. He's 2 or 3 car lengths behind Drew Webb right now. Drew Webb, the beautiful Aflac 99. Here's Logan Williams in the 95 down to the inside in the Culver's colors. Going to take that 3rd spot away from Perez, who continues to slip back on the outside. Don't look now. Here comes Jesse Turner.
I know you're going to be rooting for Turner a lot this year. Of course, easier driver there, that 82. Very strong last year with Seth Cole. We'll get to Seth Cole a little bit later on in the night. Here comes Logan Williams for 2nd. Of course, each position in these heat races is worth 4 starting positions in the feature event later on. And hey, you finish 2nd, you get to start 5th in the feature later on tonight.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big difference, even though all positions are on the inside line considering heat 1, but you need to get as better start position as much as possible.
Oh, baby.
Works in short tracks.
Oh, mama.
Almost 3 wide right there. We've seen that happen here before and it not work out too well. Bradyn Perez slipping back in that 23. And you mentioned, Igor, that inside lane with the advantage at the start of this heat. That's where you want to be. How about the Sprint Series driver, Angel Olvera, moving on into the 5th position? That's the transfer spot right there. But he's taking it away from your full-time guy, Igor.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure pleased with that, but hey, that's racing. That's part of it. You need to get into the top 5, and Semedo left the door open for Williams, and Williams took the position. Semedo fell back. It happens.
Yeah, which one would you rather get in, heads or tails?
Well, Semedo's the full-time guy. Olvera is simply a Sprint Series driver. As for the race lead, that's what happens when we peek away for just a second. Logan Williams. And you know, Logan Williams at the end of last year was one of the strongest drivers in the field. He just had such a tough start to the season. Won the Southern 500, though, and you do not win that race and not be good. However, going to slip up, and Drew Webb's going to cross back over, and don't look now. Here he comes, Jesse Turner in the 82. Great to say that name back in the Cup Series. Slipped back a little bit, and you got Bryce Eagan in a transfer position, and the 31 of Angel Olvera as well. Of course, this is for the pole in the feature event right here, and I know these guys want to get it here in this one. There's going to be 5 laps to go next time by here in heat number 1, as Angel Olvera moves up to 4th now in your sprint, or in your hot seat ride there, Igor.
Yeah, great performance for Olvera. He won the sprint series, showing his great talent, and we all know Olvera. So yeah, hopefully he can make it. And here comes the 57. Is that the Oliveira?
Bernardo de Oliveira. Yeah. Your countryman right there for Girani Racing. And he might have a shot here on Bryce Eagan for the transfer spot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at de Oliveira. He got a win. I think he actually won right here in the Pro Series last year, a couple months ago, when Caleb was running that. So no surprise to see him run well here. Tough break for guys like Bradyn Perez, LJ Semedo, especially Perez, starting on the outside pole all the way down in 10th. That means he's going to start in the last row for the LCQ. Meanwhile, Logan Williams holding on to the race lead here in Heat 1. Jesse Turner trying to take a position away from Drew Webb, get another 4 positions in the feature to start. How about Angel Olvera here in the 31? A solid run for him.
Well, Turner tried to take a peek to the inside of Webb that time through 3 and 4. Webb slips up a little bit again. Turner trying to get to the inside. Not quite able to just yet, but we're on the last lap here at New Smyrna. Logan Williams showing the way. Webb slips up. Here comes Turner to the inside.
And I know Turner said, or should I say Webb said, that he wanted to beat Turner. And you know what? I think he's going to do it, but it's Logan Williams who is going to win Heat 1. Drew Webb will finish 2nd. Jesse Turner, Angel Olvera, and how about Bernardo de Oliveira advancing on to the feature event of the night in that 57 for Girani Racing. Great job out of those guys. Bryce Eagan will start on the pole for the first LCQ. Tanner Partin will start 3rd. LJ Semedo will start 5th. Lord Chung will start 7th, and Bradyn Perez will start 9th in LCQ number 1. So those 5 guys who did not advance will be in LCQ number 1. Logan Williams will start on the pole for the feature event tonight. Watch out for Logan Williams. This is going to be a good year for him. I kind of feel it. All right, great way to start the night. Nice clean race there. Had a lot of great racing. Logan Williams, Drew Webb, Jesse Turner, Angel Olvera, and Bernardo de Oliveira advancing onto the feature event here. And hey, Logan Williams, Drew Webb, going to be on those inside lanes for the feature. Give him a good shot possibly at winning the feature event, Josh?
Well, we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the night. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how everything goes. But all I know for sure is that was a very fantastic opening heat to start the night, and congratulations to Logan Williams for winning it. The only lead change of the race course, it was a little 15-lap race, so it wasn't a whole lot going to happen. But Drew Webb holding on to 2nd spot. Logan Williams going to be starting from the pole in the main event. That's not a bad place to be.
Not at all. Of course, Bryce Eagan, Tanner Partin, LJ Semedo, Lord Chung, and Bradyn Perez will be in the LCQ number 1. They'll be joined by the 5 drivers who do not advance on to heat number 2, which is going to be right now. Let's see how it all goes down. Bring in 10 more guys, get to know them a little bit more, and advance some more drivers into the feature event here for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. All right, we are back. Hope you didn't miss us. It wasn't too long of a break, but you know what? We're going to roll right back into the racing action here for the Mello Yello SmoothFest, and we've got 10 more drivers here in heat number 2. 10 more drivers we are very eager to show off here, especially the driver starting on the pole. You know how much we all love Mr. Edge, Nicolas Samudio, who finished runner-up in the feature of this last year. He won his heat race last year. We'll see if he wins this one here tonight. But he's in that 59 machine. And we got Nathan here joining Josh. We pushed Igor aside for just a moment, but he'll be back. And Nathan, after what you saw in heat number 1, we did see a pass for the race lead. We saw Nicolas Samudio's teammate, Logan Williams, win that heat. Do you think Samudio might go ahead, do what he did last year, and lead every single lap in this heat race?
I think it could be a good possibility of Mr. Edge getting that heat race win early on here tonight. But we might have to watch out for what these drivers can do behind them, because we saw some close moments in heat race number 1, and the thing about this racetrack is that if you see close moments in one heat race, you will probably see some close racing in the rest of the heat. So it's going to be interesting of what will happen here in Heat Race number 2.
It definitely will. Of course, Nicolas Samudio in the 59. Fresher scheme for him this year. Some new paint for Appalachian Motorsports there. And, oh boy, we're excited about this guy. Loudovick Charette. I think maybe one of the bigger stories going into this season was Loudovick Charette making the move from Andrews Racing over to Grattan Autosport. And, hey, he won the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship on Christmas Day. You know this guy is good, and tonight could be his night if he gets a good run here in this heat race. Behind him, Seth Cole driving for Trackhouse Racing this year. This is going to be an interesting combination, but Seth Cole won a race for you, Josh, last year at Darlington. I know you alluded to that. I know you're sorry to see him go, but you know what? He might do some good things in a 48 machine. Bryon Webb, teammate to Bradyn Perez there at Team Williams. I know Bryon is excited to get back behind the wheel, have a better season than what he had last year. Justin Zajdel, same way for him. He did get a win in Road America last year, but he moves over to Racing Motorsports after getting pushed out at Grattan Autosport. I think it's going to be a good combination there, Justin Zajdel and Aaron Abel. Daniel Paulus Jr., great to have Daniel back. He's with Trackhouse Racing, a much better team, I feel like. He's going to be teammates with Seth Cole as well, so watch out for Daniel this year. There's your other guy, Josh, Bruno Di Giacomo. I know you're excited to see him. And you got Jack Haas there, making only his third career start. Of course, he was in the Superstar Series race here last week. It could have been better for him, but he replaces, in a way, Echo Evans-Ross as the driver of the 39, but now Echo is a team owner there with Evans-Ross Racing, and she is going to be an owner throughout the whole season, so watch out for that team. They may get pretty good. Phillip Torres there for Rut Racing, Joe Rudkowski's team here, alongside the 50 machine. That is Christian Master, who finished second in the Sprint Series race on Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for heat number 2. And Josh, I'll go ahead and ask you, since you do have some stake in this one, who do you think is going to get the Heat 2 win here at the new Smyrna Speedway?
Well, you know who I want to go for. My heart wants to go with Bruno Di Giacomo. He's starting back in 7th, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the 43 of Justin Zajdel in 5th. I know that might seem like a long shot, but we saw how they were able to get around and move around each other and pass each other in the opening heat. We'll see if Zajdel can get up there and maybe make something happen.
We'll have to see. I'm excited to see what Zajdel could possibly pull off. Here we go. Heat number 2 in the Mello Yello SmoothFest for 2024, and Samudio leads us off to the green flag. Loudovick's going to try to hold the outside. May not be the best idea. Seth Cole, a great jump there from 3rd.
Not a bad start at all for the inside lane. It's 6 on the inside, 4 on the outside. Loudovick's trying to hang on up top, but now it's going to slip back a little bit. Seth Cole trying to make something happen on the inside of the 59. Samudio closes the door for the time being.
And you alluded to the inside lane. I think it's really strong here, and Bruno Di Giacomo making some moves there. He's in a transfer position right now. Loudovick Charette slipping back right there. Now 51, we saw Bradyn Perez start the outside pole in Heat 1, and he fell back and finished in dead last.
Yeah, I think one thing that we are realizing that we kind of saw last year is that the outside lane is not really going to be. Luckily, Charette's going to get to the inside lane in 4th, and here comes Seth Cole to the inside of Mr. Edge. Unfortunately for Samudio, if he's going to win his race number 2 like he did last year, he's not going to lead every single lap.
Seth Cole making a move right there. Justin Zajdel and Bruno Di Giacomo on the inside. Those guys who started on the inside, the best advantage. And once again, the Sprint Series driver getting a good run. How about Christian Master in the 50 machine there for Appalachian Motorsports? To the inside of Phillip Torres. He's going to be full-time this year for Rut Racing, one of the new teams we've got. And Evans-Ross Racing, still technically a new team, even though they kept all the points from Hamill Racing Enterprises last year going into this season. But Jack Haas here in the 39, and watch out, Samudio going to slip back to the 5th position as Loudovick Charette takes 4th away. And Samudio might lose it to his teammate of Christian Master right here. This could be interesting. Samudio might end up in the LCQ if he's not careful. Back to the front, Seth Cole getting hounded by Justin Zajdel. Bruno Di Giacomo right there as well.
You know, I was cautiously optimistic when I picked Justin Zajdel to win this, but he's sitting there in the 2nd position halfway through. He's in a pretty good spot. He might just be able to pull this out. But Bruno Di Giacomo, one of my cars, is right behind him. Slipped a little wide coming out of turn number 4 that time. Seth Cole slipped wide as well through 3 and 4 that time before. He slips a little wide again through 1 and 2. Zajdel, oh, he's going to have a shot before this race is over. Oh, boy.
He's right there, closing in on the back bumper of Seth Cole for the race lead here in heat number 2. This is for the outside pole. May not necessarily be the best place to start for the feature, but this feature is 75 laps instead of 15. So you're still going to start on the front row if you get this win. And Zajdel to the inside there for Racing Motorsports. I know Aaron Abel is loving this. Hey, Aaron Abel had a great run in the Sprint Series race on Wednesday night as a driver. Well, now he's seeing his driver of Justin Zajdel go to the inside. Guess who his other driver is? The guy who won this race last year, Blaine Keys. For second, Bruno Di Giacomo on Seth Cole. And we've got a lot of high hopes about this guy. And you know what? He may go for the lead as Zajdel slipped up, and here comes the 28.
2 for 1, not quite going to get to Zajdel, but this 28 might be a fast race car here in heat race number 2 with 3 laps to go. Here comes Charette making his way back up to the front, trying to take third away from Cole. And right now Zajdel hanging in to that 5th and final 20th spot with 2 laps remaining.
Samudio does have a bit of a gap there between him and Jack Haas. Of course, Jack Haas not really close enough to really get to Samudio right here, but all these guys are right on each other. One guy slips up, they might lose a lot of positions. Going to be very interesting to see how it ends up shaking out. I know Samudio doesn't want to start deep in the field for the feature, but at this rate, that might be the case. White flag in Heat 2. Will Di Giacomo have a shot here at Zajdel? Zajdel going a little wide there. Di Giacomo's got one more shot, but he might not be close enough. And I know Zajdel's got a chip on his shoulder from leaving Groton Autosport, and he is going to win Heat number 2 with Di Giacomo, Seth Cole, Loudovick Charette, and Nicolas Samudio advancing onto the feature.
He's got a little bit close there off of turns 3 and 4, but Zajdel's going to hang on to the race victory in heat race number 2. Great run for that 43 Webb machine.
Got that pick right, didn't I?
Yes, he did.
You're good at that one. You're like the one person that doesn't jinx the drivers.
I'm 50-50.
Yeah, we're all 50-50. I think we're all over the place with all that. Well, hey, Justin Zajdel gets it done in heat number 2. And he will start in the 2nd position for the feature event. Bruno Di Giacomo will start 6th. Seth Cole will start 10th. Loudovick Charette will start 14th. And Nicolas Samudio will start 18th in the feature. But 75 laps for the feature event later on tonight. So a lot of time for those guys to make up. Jack Haas will start 2nd in LCQ1. Daniel Paulus Jr. will start 4th. Phillip Torres will start 6th. Bryon Webb will start 8th. And Christian Master will start in the 10th position for LCQ number 1. Well, Nathan, I'm sure you liked what you saw right there, at least in terms of the racing. How do you think it's going to fare out for these guys, though, starting on the outside lane in the feature?
Well, so far we're not really seeing it work out too well. Of course, the guy that started on the outside and he was number 1 fell all the way back to dead last. But Charette managed it pretty well, was able to settle it back and forth and finish 4th. So we'll see. It might come down to the driver and the car, but you definitely don't want to be on outside lane regardless here at New Smyrna.
So far, it's been a clean night, no wrecks. I know we saw a couple of them last year, but hey, you know what? The deeper we get into the night, the less these guys are going to have patience in their pocket. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all ends up shaking out in terms of that. But Justin Zajdel, he's on to the feature event. He gets the Heat 2 win. Let's move on to Heat number 3 and set 5 more drivers into the feature for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. And we are now halfway through our heats, but hey, we're just still getting started here tonight. And, I'm looking forward to this one. It's got a lot of good drivers in it. Hey, they all do. What a stacked field. We're just talking in between here how stacked this field is in the Wawa Cup Series this year. And I'm also going to say this is going to be the one time I'm going to mention this on camera. 33 of the 36 drivers did their ratings here going into the SmoothFest. So it's going to be a stacked year. That's all I'm going to say. We got ourselves 10 drivers once again, and they are led by the Pacific Racing crew. And how about Pacific Racing on the short tracks last year? They were very strong. Chase Buck and Thomas Troxell essentially won every true short track last year, and they were very strong all around. Of course, Thomas Troxell 3rd in the championship standings. I'm going to ask you, Igor, since I've got you back, do you think Troxell could end up going and maybe winning this championship this year? Have another good season in that 62?
Well, maybe he definitely needs to close it out the season. He was the regular season champion at the end, tied with Webb, I believe. But he definitely can maybe finally win his title. He got pretty close last season, and I don't see any reason why he cannot do it this year.
It's going to be very fascinating to see what Pacific Racing does. Of course, Pacific Racing actually won the owner's title last year with Troxel and Chase Buck. But of course, your driver, Igor or Drew Webb, won the Drivers' Championship, which is ultimately the most important one of all. All right, Thomas Troxel and Chase Buck on the front row. We know what's up with those guys, and we know what's up with this guy. Blaine Keys, moving over to Racing Motorsports this year, won this SmoothFest a year ago, and he's in a great position to do it again. If he wins this heat, he starts third in the feature, and I don't know if you want him starting up front here at New Smyrna Speedway, but either way, Blaine Keys there for the 41 in Racing Motorsports alongside Brad Stover. Brad Stover making the move over to Nathan Orman Motorsports. I know these guys are anticipating a much better year than what they had last year. They got two solid guys with Partin and Stover. I think Stover's going to have a solid year. Roberto Crown Jr. makes a move from the defunct DPI to Dracoan Racing Enterprises in the number 5, and they painted this car as well. Solid scheme right there. And Zachary Fitzwater, oh boy, he was in purgatory last year, but with a much better team. This car finished 6th in the driver's standings with Loudovick Charette last year. I think Zachary Fitzwater and Andrews Racing is going to be a great combination. And, I gotta talk about this one. Trey Bartow is back in the number 4, and he's got everyone's favorite Taylor Swift on the hood this year. I mean, could it get any better? I don't know. Ask Hairgel. He was the one who painted this car. But, hey, Trey Bartow's back full-time in the Wawa Cup Series. Made a couple starts last year as a Sprint Series driver, but he is fully back. And another guy is back, Ace Garcia, in the 44 from Millennium Motorsports. This is another one of our new teams. They ran in the Truck Series last year and were very strong. Watch out for Chase Harris's organization with Ace Garcia and Angel Gutierrez. I know this guy is going to have a good year. I can sense it. He's with a strong team. Won the Indy 250 last year. Still going for that first official stock car win. Maybe tonight's the night for him. And the 00, Skylar Taylor advanced on from the Central Florida 200 on Wednesday. They are in the 00 for Team Williams in the hot seat. Let's go ahead, get these guys to roll off for heat number 3. And Igor, no. Nathan, I think you're the next one in line. You're the next one in line. No, I'm not doing this right. I'm making sure everyone gets a pick. Who do you think's winning this heat?
Well, let's see if I have the good mojo here tonight or the bad one. I'm going to go with last year's winner, Blaine Keys, in the 41. I think it's going to win heat race number 3 from the 3rd place starting spot.
And hey, his teammate just won heat number 2 with Racing Motorsports. Aaron Abel's been pretty good here in New Smyrna the past couple of days. Watch out for him and what he can pull off. And I think Aaron Abel's a driver for you in the IndyCar Series as well, Nathan. So maybe a little connection. All right, here we go for heat number 3. Pacific Racing and Brennan Wilmington leading us off with Troxel and Chase Buck. Here we go. And how about Blaine Keys all over the back bumper of Troxel? You know, each of these heats, that 3rd place starter has been closer and closer to the pole sitter.
Yeah, and great cyber Blaine Keys. He won this SmoothFest last year. He knows how to do it. Obviously, got a pretty good repertoire at New Smyrna, and he's probably going to finally win this heat race. But don't look now. Here comes Roberto Crown Jr. and Trey Bartle.
And they utilize that inside lane starting position to their advantage right there. And Chase Buck slipping back in that 32. A little uncharacteristic for the driver who went wire to wire in 2 short track races last year. 1 Bristol and New and North Wilkesboro from the pole. And oh boy, Ace Garcia getting a little edgy right there with Skylar Taylor. A lot of movement here. Actually some contact, I think, between Taylor and Garcia. Meanwhile, though, Troxel able to hold off Blaine Keys for now. And you got Roberto Crown Jr. a little ways back in 3rd. Trey Bartow and Angel Gutierrez there in the 3rd, or should I say 5th position, the last transfer spot right now for the number 36.
Well, we might have saw a little bit of contact between between the 00 and the 44, that's what it is, but that's normal here with New Smyrna and Sports Right Racing. Ball might be on the edge here with the 36, almost to the inside about his Gutierrez, and fantastic racing already once again in number 3.
What a run here for Gutierrez. Of course, these guys utilize that inside lane to their advantage to start these heats. And these heats are so short. Really don't have much time to rebound if you fall back, and that's kind of the case for Chase Buck right there. However, Gutierrez might open the door for Chase Buck if he puts Trey Barch on the outside lane there. Of course, I know Harrisville Motorsports is a team that is definitely looking forward to having Trey Bartow on their team. They did not have a good run last year with their two former drivers, but I think they're going to have a much better year than they did last year, and Trey Bartow definitely a solid driver. Skylar Taylor on Chase Buck. That is for the 6th position. Fitzwater trying to rebound here in the 61. He fell back there initially. Gutierrez was a little wide, and Taylor trying to regain some momentum, and Blaine Key still in the tire tracks of Troxel, but Troxel may get our first wire-to-wire of the night here with this 62.
Yeah, Troxel looking really good. Obviously, Pacific Racing definitely a great team on the short tracks, like we saw last year, but Blank is still just there. He might go for a last lap or lap 14 attack just to make sure he doesn't lose the heat win, but he's now losing ground to Troxel, to be fair.
Of course, Thomas Troxel wired in here tonight in that number 62. Meanwhile, for 4th, and this isn't good for Trey Barcher getting stuck in that outside lane because Skylar Taylor's right there. They already had Angel Olvera advance onto the feature as a Sprint Series driver, and Taylor might do it here on Bartow. Tight right there between those two Pennsylvanians. Not going to quite work out for the number 4 and the 00. Looking to move to the inside for that transfer spot. Meanwhile, Blaine Key's trying to close back in on Thomas Troxel for this race lead. He's right there, and if Troxel slips up one little bit, that 41's going to have a shot at it.
Pacific Racing has something dialed down on the short tracks, and it looks like it might continue into season number 2 here in 2024, but Blanky's all over the bumper. Hopefully Bo can make it into the A main, or into the feature. I'm saying that still reason, but fantastic stuff, but we only have 1.5 laps to go, and it's Troxel and Keith for the final, for the top spot.
White flag in the air here for heat number 3. Thomas Troxel and Blaine Keys. That 41 is there. Oh, will he get enough momentum to maybe peek down in the turn 3? He's going to try to intimidate that 62 off the exit. Troxel's a little wide, but it's wire to wire for Thomas Troxel. You got Blaine Keys, Roberto Crown Jr., Angel Gutierrez, and another Sprint Series driver makes it on. Skylar Taylor is in the feature event for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. That means that Trey Bartow, Zachary Fitzwater, Chase Buck, Brad Stover, and Ace Garcia will be in the LCQ number 2. Very, very interesting right there. That was definitely, I would say, the calmest of our 3 heats so far. And a wire-to-wire win there for Thomas Troxel and Pacific Racing. He'll start 3rd in the feature event later on tonight.
Yeah, obviously great starting spot for Troxel. Great race as well, leading from wise wire. And to be honest, kind of sad for Bartow. He was 4th for most of the way just to get overtaken by Gutierrez and Taylor. But hey, at least as a consolation, he'll start on the pole for the second LCQ.
So we'll have to see what he can do in that LCQ. And those races are going to be interesting because they're 30 laps long instead of 15 laps long. So a little bit more time to work your way from the back to the front if needed. Thomas Troxel will start 3rd for the feature. Blaine Keys will start in 7th for the feature. Roberto Crown Jr., a great run for them. They'll start 11th for the feature event. Angel Gutierrez will start 15th, and Skylar Taylor will start 19th for the feature event coming up after the LCQs are done. Trey Bartow will start 1st in LCQ number 2. Zachary Fitzwater will start 3rd in LCQ number 2. Chase Buck will start 5th. Brad Stover will start 7th, and Ace Garcia will start 9th, all in LCQ number 2. 1 more heat to go, 5 more spots left, and then it's on to the LCQs here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. All right, we've had some calm heat races so far tonight. Nathan, your 2 drivers are in this one, so that might end right here. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes down here for heat number 4. 5 more drivers getting in. And it's on to the LCQs here in New Smyrna Speedway for the Mello Yello SmoothFest here. We've had a lot of fun so far tonight. Maybe a little bit calmer than it was last year, but hey, a lot more experience in these guys than what we had last year, and they're starting to get it down. But here are the last 10 cars, last 9 full-timers that we will go through tonight, and then we got one more Sprint Series driver in that number 11 at the back of the field. It's the Celsius Crusader out front, as Matt always likes to say it. Matt Tuck finished 4th in the standings last year. back with Grattan Autosport, but then alongside him, Nathan, your good buddy Travis Crampton, who had an excellent season last year there. You got some new schemes, you got a new driver. How you guys looking at NS Racing for 2024?
Well, the only thing that really stayed the same was the numbers, the manufacturer, and the sponsors. Actually, a lot of things stay the same, but some new schemes, like I said, and a new driver in the number 97 with Andy Miller. Hopefully, we can keep up with the momentum that Crampton had late in the second half of the season. Carry over, and hopefully Andy Miller does some good things in that 97. And goal is to at least have both drivers in chase contention, be in a fine chance for one of the two spots, but who knows, maybe get both Ford Mustangs into the Wawa Cup Series chasing this year.
We'll have to see how it all goes down. I know Matt Tuck's going for that chase again, and I know he's going for this heat win. He starts on the pole in number 54 for Grattan Autosport, alongside Travis Crampton there back in the 98 for NS Racing. A solid season for you guys. Last year got the win at Las Vegas early on. And a new look for Hamlin Racing Enterprises. They are back, by the way. Two new drivers. Brady Mardi Gras in the 47 and Rogel Dorn in the 74. And there was a lot of contention between Rogel Dorn and a certain team. That certain team starting right behind him. Avery Alford in the 52 for Hairgel Motorsports. Avery Alford won the Sprint Series title last year. Earned himself a full-time ride in the Wawa Cup Series because of that. It's alongside your other driver of Andrew Miller, making the move from Nathan Orman Motorsports to NS Racing this season. And then our newcomers, Kirsten Bell, first career start for her here tonight in the 93 for Evans Ross Racing. Like I said, watch out for Evans Ross Racing this year. I think they're going to have a lot of success. Samad Ozkin there in the 73 for Durrani Racing. Of course, Ozkin was in the Sprint Series last year as well. Arguably should have won the Sprint Series title, but wrecked out in the last race and lost the points lead to Avery Alford at Darlington. But he is full-time along with Alford, and he's got a chip on his shoulder from that. I know that for sure. And Matthew Hubert, I believe only his second start, but first time with me in the commentator's booth. I know Caleb had him, I think, in the Christmas Eve Showdown. He's going to be driving alongside Phillip Torres at Rut Racing. And then you got the 11 machine. That's the Grattan Autosport hot seat, driven by Eric Monaco, who was in this race last year. So a full-time driver who is in the Sprint Series this year. Finished 5th in the Central Florida 200, but was the 4th eligible driver for the hot seat. Let's go ahead, get these guys to roll off one last time for the heats. And Nathan, I'm going to let you pick again because you got your two drivers here in this one. Who's going to get it done for heat number 4?
Well, as always, as I do, I'm going to do 2 pits. 1 pick is the 5th pick. I think Amanda Miller on the inside lane is going to have a good shot. But I'm going to go with the Celsius Crusader. Got the joint sponsorship here. I think Matt Tuck's going to be the main guy to beat here in Heat 4.
We'll have to see. I mean, Thomas Troxel went flag to flag in heat number 3. Will Matt Tuck do so and get the 4th starting spot for the feature event later on tonight? Here we go. It's the last heat, but we're still very early on in the night. A lot of great racing coming up. Green flag in the air for heat 4. Good jump out of Crampton on that outside lane. But we've not seen that outside lane work at all night, but Crampton's going to try it.
And Tuck's going to have the advantage heading off into that 3rd turn, and he's going to come around to lead lap number 1, and don't look now. He's going to have some competition coming from the 47. That is
Brady Mardi Gras.
Brady Mardi Gras going
Your
to the inside
Nathan.
with a push from the 97 of Andrew Miller.
And they're side by side here across the line. Mardi Gras got it there on Matt Tuck. I think Mardi Gras just barely missed out on the feature last year, so I know there's a chip on his shoulder. But Andrew Miller, he's going to have a good shot here. And Crampton peeking down to the inside after starting outside pole. You know, that's the best recovery I think we've seen out of anyone who started outside pole in any of these heats. And Kirsten Bell, this is a driver who I'm really looking forward to seeing this season because I've heard some good things about her in terms of putting those ratings together well, and I feel like that team, that organization is going to be really strong. Andrew Miller trying on Mardi Gras for the race lead. Kirsten Bell's in position to advance. Matt Tuck in the last transfer spot. Ozkin for 6th back in there. It's definitely an antsy little heat right here for heat number 4.
Definitely the gloves are coming off. This is the final heat of the night, and these guys are getting a little bit antsy, like you said. Matt Tuck trying to take take the second to last transfer spot away from the number 93. Here comes the 73 of Oskin. Gonna take a look to the inside. Tuck's gonna block. And now Tuck is in and Oskin is in.
Kirsten Bell down the 6. Here comes Rogel. I know he's going to be going for it really hard. Had a good end of the season in the Truck Series. A lot of strong runs near the end there, and this is a guy who outperformed his car last season in the Cup Series, so watch out for him. He's with a really good team there at Hamill Racing Enterprises. I think he's going to have some opportunities at some race wins and maybe a shot at the chase and maybe even the championship. Who knows? Andrew Miller trying to close in on Mardi Gras. Rogeldorn's teammate right here. How about Brady Mardi Gras there at Hamill Racing Enterprises? Had a solid run last year with Bradyn Racing, moved up to Hamill Racing Enterprises in this 47. However, he's going to lose some momentum there, and Andrew Miller to the inside for the race lead.
Not quite going to be able to get down there just yet. Mardi Gras is able to hold on. Coming around to start lap number 10, Miller's going to have another opportunity for sure before this heat comes to an end. They both slide wide in 1 and 2. That's going to be good for the 98. Not too far behind the 98 of Travis Crampton. And Miller taking a look again. Mardi Gras slid wide.
Oskin, meanwhile, for 4th on Matt Tuck. And of course, each position that you advance is worth 4 positions to start for the feature. Miller's got it this time. He's to the inside of Brady Mardi Gras for the race lead here on lap 11. And we got 4 laps to go. And hey, Matt Tuck's got to be careful. Rogeldorn's right here looking to take this last transfer spot away. Meanwhile, Miller's going to clear Mardi Gras. And now you got Rogeldorn to the inside of Matt Tuck.
This is not what Tuck wants to see in the Celsius Crusader. Dorn's going to get past him now. Tuck's going to have to do a crossover move. He has only 3 laps to go in heat race number 4. It's going to come down to Dorn and Tuck for this final transfer spot. Miller putting Mardi Gras and Crampton in the top 3.
Good run for Andrew Miller here, trying to put a bit of a gap. Only 2 laps to go here in this heat. And he'll start 4th in the feature event. Meanwhile, Matt Tuck back to the inside of Rogeldorn for the last transfer spot. Here we go. We've been waiting all night for something like this. And Matt Tuck's going to try it. It's the white flag next time by. He's got the nose this time on Rogeldorn. Andrew Miller's got a good gap on Mardi Gras for the race lead. And it's going to be one last shot for Rogeldorn if he can find a way to cross over. But Tuck with a good run on the outside there. It's Andrew Miller winning heat number 4. Mardi Gras, Crampton, Oskin, and Matt Tuck gets the last transfer spot in heat 4.
Superb job by Tuck to get in with a couple of laps remaining, making the pass on Rogeldorn, and Dorn's going to have to go to the LCQ, but bang up job as well by Andrew Miller. Fantastic drive in this 4th heat to make his way into the main event.
And your bias pick worked out for you, Nathan. Your driver gets it done, and your other driver, Travis Crampton, he's going to have a good starting position in the feature as well. So, Nathan, I think you're safe to call the feature with me. We had a little bet. We've got 3 drivers or 3 guys rotating here in the booth, but hey, it's a little hard to have a 4-man booth. I know NBC does it. I don't think they do it well. We made a little decision that whoever had the worst average starting position in the feature for their cars would not call the feature event with us. So, Nathan, I think you're good. It's going to come down to if Igor can get his drivers in here. We're going to have to make some notations here and see how it all tallies up. But, Nathan, I think you're going to be in the booth with us for the feature. Either way, Andrew Miller is in the feature as well. He starts 4th. Brady Mardi Gras starts 8th. Travis Crampton starts 12th. Oskin's going to start 16th, and Matt Tuck will start in the 20th position for the feature event. Rogeldorn will start 2nd for LCQ number 2. Matthew Hubert will start in the 4th position. Kirsten Bell will start 6th. Avery Alford will start 8th. And then Eric Monaco will start in the 10th position for LCQ number 2. All right, final thoughts here, Josh. And heading into these LCQs, we've seen some pretty clean racing here, but how do you think it's going to shake up in these LCQs knowing only the top 2 advance onto the feature?
Well, it's definitely, the tension is definitely going to be higher in the LCQs. There's more at stake because in these first 4 heats, you still at least knew you were going to have a chance. Like, okay, well, if I don't make it here, I've got another chance. But not after the LCQ. You don't make it through that, you're done. So the tension is definitely going to ramp up for these last two events before we get into the main event.
And here we go. I remember the LCQs last year. They were pretty solid races. Hopefully we get more of the same here tonight. We've had some good stuff so far. I think it's only going to get better. Here comes LCQ number 1 for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. All right, the heats are done. Now, it's time to get a little more serious here for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. A chance at getting into the feature event. Your last chance to get into the feature event. Hence why they call it the Last Chance Qualifier. This is the first of 2. And only the top 2 finishers in this 30-lap race will advance onto the feature event and join the 20 drivers who have already advanced. And this is how they line up. 6th through 10th finishers in heat number 1 start on the inside lane in their respective positions, and then 6th through 10th in heat number 2, they are on the outside lane. Pretty straightforward and simple, and we'll go through the drivers again for you. Bryce Eagan, hey, first career start on the channel. Not too shabby being the first guy to miss out there for Andrews Racing, alongside Jack Haas. I tell you, I think I think he wants to advance on. I think that'll cure everything that happened last week to him in the Superstar Series race. That was a bit rough for him last week. Tanner Partin is there in the 18 machine, alongside Daniel Paulus Jr. And Igor, here's your guy, LJ Semedo. He was in this thing last year and advanced on. I'll get to you in a second about that. Phillip Torres alongside him there. Laura Chung alongside Bryon Webb. And then Bradyn Perez. This is probably the biggest surprise. Bradyn Perez was such a great driver last year. Won 3 races. Even won a race early on in the season and late in the season as well. He finished last in his heat race. And then the number 50 machine there of Christian Master looking to advance on and become the 3rd Sprint Series driver in the feature event. All right, Igor, LJ Semedo was in the same position last year. He was in the LCQ. He finished 2nd. He got into the feature. What does he need to do in this one to make it on to that feature event for a 2nd straight year?
Well, it's mostly hugging that inside lane. We saw how powerful that is. And since he's starting there, he needs to hug that as much as possible, but also make some moves as soon as possible and constantly stay up front if he can. This is the LCQ in the end is double the distance of the heat races, so he definitely needs some more resistance. And like I said previously, just hug that inside lane as much as possible.
And we'll have to see what he can do in that 71 machine. I know you're rooting for him. We'll have to see if he has a good advantage. And Josh, I'll ask you, you don't have any drivers in this heat, or should I say LCQ event, but say you are one of these guys starting deep in the field, like Bradyn Perez or Christian Master. What do you do if you want to move up and be in one of those top 2 positions after 30 laps?
Well, the culture of short track racing, a lot of times the bumpers come out, and a lot of people don't necessarily like that. But with this much on the line, when you know that, hey, this is my absolute last chance to get in, what more can you do? You just got to go out there, you've got to drive like heck, and you've got to do everything you can to get up to the front. I know there's only 10 drivers in this, but I think it's even going to be crazier than some of the moments in the first 4 heats that we saw. It's double length, so there's more time to get up there. So they're going to be able to push themselves harder, and they're going to push each other around harder because of what's at stake.
We'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out. I think these guys are going to be aggressive. A lot more newer faces in here. I mean, the most experienced guys in this field are Semedo, Webb, and Bradyn Perez. And who am I kidding? Christian Master, by far the most experienced of all these guys. He's got more wins than everybody else combined in this field. So watch out for Christian Master as well, the hot seat driver there for Appalachian Motorsports. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for LCQ number 1. And Igor, you got some drivers, you got a driver, I should say, in this field. Is he going to advance on and win this LCQ, or will it be somebody else?
No, I hope Semedo can do it. Like you said, he did it last year. I think he can do it again. But if I'm going to make a bet on the 2nd driver to advance, it's probably the rookie in the series, Jack Haas, who's starting on the outside pole. He's definitely...
You're the first to pick someone from the outside there. That's an interesting pick. I'm gonna look and see if that 39 has something to go his way. Well, we'll have to see. Definitely looking sharp. Scheme from last year there, but hey, this is the LCQ. Don't necessarily want to be in here. But you got to be on it to make it onto the feature. Top 2 advance. Bryce Eagan a little wide. And that's going to open the door for Tanner Partin right at the start of the race already. Aggressive out of the gate. Oh, and 3 wide. Almost 3 wide. And LJ Semedo. Hey, boy, that was a lot going on there in that first lap. I'll tell you that much.
And that has given Eagan a huge lead up front. 18, not particularly close at the moment. And here comes the 71 to the inside. That's Semedo in behind the 18 of, I believe that's Tanner.
Yeah,
that's Tanner Partin, isn't it? Tanner Partin there in second. Semedo in third. The 55 down to the inside, Laura Chung. And, man, Jack Haas is slipping back on the outside. We'll see. I know it's a 30-lap race as opposed to 15, but there are some big gaps up front now after all the chicanery that happened on that opening lap.
Yeah, and the problem is they're so tightly packed on the inside, he hasn't found a hole to the inside yet, and he continues to slip back. Meanwhile, for the transfer spot, LJ Semedo on Tanner Partin. I know this is early on, but like you mentioned, Josh, already some huge gaps opening up. Bryce Eagan to an 0.8 of a second lead 5 laps in. Semedo unable to make the move, though, on Tanner Partin, but still a long ways left to go in this race, and, a lot can happen between now and the finish with it being 30 laps, twice the length of these heat races. Jack Haas looks like he is going to end up slipping to the back of the field. Phillip Torres is back there with Paulus Jr. and all those guys, but it's Bryce Eagan trying to chip away a little bit further ahead on Tanner Partin for this race lead.
Yeah, Bryce Eagan had an amazing start, like just jumping everyone since Jack Haas was stuck battling with Tanner Partin, and Bryce Eagan is just hoping to finally make it to the feature race, but I think he'll be able to hold on to the lead until the end. It's just probably going to be the main battle for the second spot with Partin, Semedo, and Chung there, and obviously Perez not so far away as well.
And Bradyn Perez definitely a driver who we'd be surprised if he missed out on that feature event. And here he sits 5th here in the LCQ, so he's got some work to do. Meanwhile, Tanner Partin's trying to close in. He's got time to close in here on Bryce Eagan, but Eagan he's got no one around him, so he's able to kind of just race a clean line right here. And, that's good news for Tanner Partin as well, I feel like, because he doesn't get caught up in anything. He might be able to hold on to that second position. And Semedo kind of slipping up just a little bit right there in the 71. I know you don't like seeing that, Igor, but still some time left in this one, and a lot of things can happen. We've yet to have a caution. We've yet to have a wreck in any of these races so far. Of course, only 10 cars on the track. The likelihood of that is rather slim, but these guys might get a little aggressive here as this race goes on. The tires were out a little bit. Bradyn Perez making a move for 4th there on Laura Chung, bringing Christian Master with him right there. I know Master would love to be back in the SmoothFest. But, hey, they're spread out quite a bit. However, Partin's closing in. It is now down to half a second, or close to half a second. 0.6 of a second there on Bryce Eagan.
We'll see what Partin can do. Semedo, not too far behind either there, the 71. About a half a second behind the 18 of Partin. But Semedo in the Pepsi colors is going to try to make something happen with that 18. He's got plenty of time to do it, but gotta, drive very cautiously in the corners. You don't want to who knows? With the gaps already this big and this late in the going, one slip could be the end of it. And you may not be able to rebound from that and make it to the main event.
And the thing
but
I noticed,
Eagan is doing wonderful so far.
Yeah, and to your point there, the start of the race there for Bryce Eagan, I think, is why he got it to that big jump. He kind of closed up there and got Jack Haas way out of line, and that just caused everyone behind him to shuffle, and that's why he was able to pull ahead. And, with no one else really battling him, he's been able to kind of just maintain that gap. But, everyone's kind of in line right here. Phillip Torres at the inside of Laura Chung. Laura Chung falling back. Of course, I know Laura Chung, she was teammates with Zachary Fitzgerald last year at Everbell Motorsports, and you all know how that ended up going for him. And Laura Chung there with Tracoan Racing Enterprises trying to get a better run this season. But doesn't look like she's going to end up in the feature event. Bradyn Perez, though, oh no, Igor, he's coming there on your driver. And you know what? If Perez gets around Semedo, he might have a shot for the transfer spot and making it into the feature event.
Yeah, Perez definitely a strong car. He showed last season why he's probably going to try to be a championship contender once again this year. And Semedo's been slipping up time and time again, so it's no surprise that Perez caught up, but Perez also will try everything in his power to get into the feature, the main race, and race for the prize that is winning the Mello Yello SmoothFest.
First, I just realized, too, you got two Dodges right here. The only two Dodge teams in the Wawa Cup Series are Titan Fury Racing and Team Williams. And Team Williams may actually get completely shut. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Skylar Taylor made it on in that 0-0. Their hot seat driver is going to make it on, but the two full-timers may not end up advancing. Hey, you know what? It's a bit of a gaggle starting back behind Semedo right here as Bryce Eagan continues to pull away. How about this? An impressive run for the true rookie looking to make it into the Mello Yello SmoothFest. Tanner Partin looking to advance on as well for Nathan Orman Motorsports. Very calm up front right here, and they're all just staying in line right now. You got Christian Master trying on Bradyn Perez now. That is for the 4th position, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
Well, he's going to try to take a peek anyways, even if it's just a morale booster for the rest of the season. If he's not going to have a chance to make it into the show, not able to get anything on Perez right now. We're at 7 laps to go. Perez slips up a little bit. Master still not able to get to the inside. The lead up front, a little over a second now for Eagan. It is Partin in second. That looks like what it's going to be as we get to the end of this LCQ. We'll see what the last 2 spots end up being in the next LCQ. I know we're really looking forward to that one, but a stupendous drive by Tanner Partin and Eagan up front. They've been virtually unchallenged since the 3rd lap of the race. Bryce Eagan has basically he's led all the laps so far.
You know, Perez, if he get around Semedo right here, which he's not quite able to get to the inside. I got closed in there by Semedo. I was just about to say, if he was able to get to the inside of LJ Semedo right there, he might have had a shot there at getting to Tanner Partin. You know, Semedo still has a chance on Partin. It might not be over for you, Igor. He's reeling him in just a little bit. I just don't know. It's 3 laps to go. Bryce Eagan's out of here, by the way. No one's catching that 69 here. However, LJ Semedo, all you got to do is beat him at the line. And you know what? He's running a good line right now to close in on this 18. This could get a little tight. Good run off the exit for Partin, though. 2 laps to go in LCQ number 1. And LJ Semedo going to do all he can. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's just been trailing behind this 18 this whole race. This is the first race we've seen where these guys have essentially just stayed in their respective positions. Kind of ironic considering how big of a race this is. White flag for Bryce Eagan. Looking to advance onto the feature. Tanner Partin there as well. And Bradyn Perez. It's too little too late for both of these guys. Bryce Eagan advances on to the Mello Yello SmoothFest feature. And Tanner Partin. As the battle for 3rd was a little tight right there. Semedo still got the podium, but unfortunately for Semedo, he will not be in the feature event this year, and neither will Perez. It's Bryce Eagan and Tanner Partin advancing on from LCQ number 1.
Yeah, great performance from Bryce Eagan, especially. Got the jump at the start and then just kept opening the gap to Tanner Partin. So, what a show from the true rookie, and also great race from Tanner Partin as well, holding off Semedo, Perez, and all of those guys to make it to the feature race. So, a calm LCQ, but much calmer than we expected, but it's still a good race after all.
And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that we ended up with that crazy start and Bryce Eagan just shuffling those guys out of line the way he did. It was Bryce Eagan and Tanner Partin, and no one else was getting to him right there. They're going to start 21st and 23rd, respectively, in the feature event, and everyone else goes home. But hey, Wawa 400, this time next Friday night for the first points-paying race, so the good thing is, no points in the line, nothing really on the line for this race. Of course, you know, I know it's a bit unfortunate to miss out on the feature event, but hey, you know, we're all just having fun right here with this Mello Yello SmoothFest. That's the whole point of it. So Bryce Eagan, Tanner Partin, they are on to the feature event for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. let's go ahead, move on to LCQ number 2 and see who gets those last 2 spots going into this feature event. All right. It all comes down to this. The last LCQ of the night. We have 22 cars already set, only 2 more slots. The top 2 finishers here in this LCQ advance on a very calm first LCQ right there. And, you know, just like it is with the dual races at Daytona in real life, one's usually calm, the other one's crazy. I'm going to ask you, Nathan, are we going to see that same thing here in this one? Will we have a crazy second LCQ compared to the first one?
Well, it's been pretty calm all night long, but if there would be any LCQ in any race up to this point that would be kind of chaotic, I think it will be LCQ number 2. We got some heavy hitters here in the second last chance race, and gonna see if who will move on and who will unfortunately go home empty-handed without even having a shot at the win in the main here tonight.
We'll have to see how it ends up shaking out for these guys. Of course, Trey Bartow is in this heat. Zachary Fitzwater in this heat. You combine their wins, that is 45 career wins on the channel. That's between just those 2 drivers. And they start first and third. And guess what? Bryce Eagan, Tanner Partin were first and third to start LCQ number 1. So maybe we get Bartow and Fitzy in the Mello Yello SmoothFest main event. But hey, Rogel Doran starting alongside Trey Bartow. Want something different to happen. Obviously, you got Fitzwater there in the 61 alongside Matthew Hubert in his second career start, I do believe, in that number 0 machine. Chase Buck, this is another big surprise. Chase Buck was solid last year on the short tracks and not really doing too well here tonight in the LCQ alongside Kirsten Bell there in the 93. Brad Stover, his teammate Tanner Partin, advanced down in LCQ 1 alongside Avery Alford in the 52, both the hair gel cars in this LCQ. Then you got Ace Garcia and Eric Monaco there back in the final row. Let's go ahead. 30 laps to determine the last 2 drivers to make it into the Mello Yello SmoothFest here at New Smyrna Speedway. And Igor, since we've determined that you will not be calling the feature with us based on the average starting positions, I'll let you go ahead and make the pick here for this last LCQ.
Well, I'm good. I wanted to pick Bartow, but I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick the guy who's starting on 3rd, Fitzy itself. I believe he's going to have a great run to start the year, which he definitely needs after poor 2023, and I think he'll be able to get this win in the LCQ and move on to the SmoothFest.
We'll have to see what he can do. Yes, those 2 cars do look very similar, and yes, I painted both of them, didn't realize it, but hey, who cares about that? LCQ number 2 is underway. Bartow with a great jump at the start. Rogel Doran's going to cut down, or at least try to cut down on Fitzwater. Couldn't quite do it. That's exactly what Bartow wanted, but Rogel Doran's going to try to clear Fitzwater in the corner. He's got it. That is a good jump there from the outside lane, but Fitzwater not going to let him have it right there, and Fitzy back to the inside. And Fitzy saw that first LCQ. He does not want that to happen to him and all these guys. He wants to have a shot as caution, first of the night. First of the night, Brad Stover in the 88. Not entirely sure what happened to him, and that was early on, and I was noticing as they were coming around the corner right there, it seemed to be 1 car missing. Oh, boy. Oh. Matthew Hubert, I think, also caught up in this as well in the 0. Either that or he just blew up. All right, well, here's our craziness here in LCQ number 2. And that's great news for Rogel Doran, who's going to end up restarting second here in this LCQ. Stover's done for the night.
Hey, Nathan called the craziness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happens. I said that there might be a chance for craziness, and it happens. Fairly unfortunately on here in LCQ number 2, though.
Matthew Hubert's also going to be out of the race as well because of his issue. Trey Bartow, I think Bartow wanted to see what happened in LCQ 1. Bryce Eagan just pulled away and then dominated the field there. Yeah, he wanted a chance at that himself, but now, you know, he's got to be careful not to let Rogel Doran get to the inside of him and get himself stuck in the outside lane. Fitzwater, Chase Buck are 2 really strong guys. I mean, heck, the top 4 here are all guys who ran very well last year in their respective series. Bartow wasn't full-time, but got a win in the Sprint Series, was really good over there. Kirsten Bell, Avery Alford, Ace Garcia, and Eric Monaco still in this field. Lights are actually out on the pace car, so in regards to the replays, we did this last year for the heats and LCQs, you will see those overlay on the screen or in the corner of your screen. So you see what happens right there to Brad Stover and Matthew Hubert. I think they were separate incidents, though. I think Hubert ended up blowing the piston, as you can see there on the leaderboard, after Brad Stover got caught up in the wreck. All right, here we go. Trey Bartow, Rogel Dorn, Zachary Fitzwater, Chase Buck, Kirsten Bell, Avery Alfred, Ace Garcia, and Eric Monaco. Top 2 advance on to the feature event. Here we go, our first restart of the night here at New Smyrna Speedway, and Trey Bartow trying to get a jump here on these guys. Not as good of a jump as the start, though. Here comes Rogel Dorn.
One wide, Dorn to the inside, side by side, these two are in as of now. Dorn's gonna, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, here comes Fitzy.
Not a good entry at all for Rogel Dorn right there. Just got a little too close to that 4 machine. Alfred making a move on Kirsten Bell, but it really doesn't matter at this point. Rogel Dorn trying to hold on. He started outside pole for this one. Started on the outside, and I know he'd love to advance on from that position. He's going to close back in on Bartow for this race lead. Trying to get all that he can on this 4 machine. He is, and once again, got loose from underneath him. He shot up the racetrack, and Bartow hangs on to the race lead in that 4 machine. Fitzwater trying to close in on Rogel Dorn. These guys are not shooting up and making the mistakes like they were last year. They were a lot edgier last year than they are this year. A lot more glued to the racetrack, but still great racing so far here in this Mello Yello SmoothFest. And once we get 24 cars on the track here in a few moments for the feature, oh boy, it's going to get crazy. Bartow, I just mentioned that. He goes a little wide through the corner, and Rogel Dorn's going to close back in again.
Trying to stay up top here at New Smyrna, the one in second. And these two are looking pretty good at the moment, but still very early on and almost contact for the top spot.
I'm going to say this. I alluded to it earlier. Rogel Dorn was originally going to be driving for Heritage Motorsports this year. They had a bit of a falling out in the winter, in the fall more likely, and Rogel was not too happy. Managed to find a solid ride, though, at Hamill Racing Enterprises. I know Rogel wants to beat this 4 like it's no money business. He has nothing against Trey Bartow, but he does not want to let the car that he was going to be in beat him here tonight. They have pulled away, and Rogel is still all over the back bumper of Bartow, and he is really putting the bumper to him right here. And Bartow's got to be careful not to get too much out of line, because Fitzwater's there. Chase Buck trying to make a move on Fitzwater for position, but they've had some struggles making passes here tonight. However, here's the opportunity. Rogel Dorn to the inside for the race lead in LCQ2.
And like you said, Rogel Dorn trying to be aggressive, not only to get this win, but get one over Herjo after everything that happened during the off-season. So, honestly, Rogel Dorn is with fire in his eyes and hoping to win the LCQ.
I thought we were going to get across. Hey, Bartow's still there, and this is a lot tighter than it was in the first LCQ. Halfway here, Rogel Dorn trying to, all you got to do is finish top 2. So, these guys, both comfortably in those top 2 positions right now, as Fitzwater and Chase Buck is a little too far behind at the moment. But if they tangle, that opens the door for these guys behind them to maybe move on, and that's going to be the big key here if they, in fact, do get into each other. But they are pretty much on equal ground right now. However, Rogel Dorn trying to pull away from this 4 machine and get this LCQ win, start in the 22nd position for the feature event. The way it runs, Bartow would then start in the last position in 24th for the feature coming up here in a few moments.
And when that Bug on Dorn pretty good, Buck and Fitzwater almost contact that there. But it's going to be interesting what ends up happening, because we still have 12 laps to go this time by. If the top 2 get into each other, that could change things here. And heck, if 3rd and 4th get into here, that could change things late.
Of course, if we get another caution, that also could make things a little interesting. But Rogel Dorn starting to pull away now from Trey Bartow. And Bartow has to be careful not to let Fitzwater close in on him. But then again, these guys are still about a second behind. Ace Garcia trying to make a move on Chase Buck. Fitzwater's holding these guys up right now. Garcia trying there on Chase. Can't quite get the move made. Like I said, they've struggled making these passes here tonight. You know, we didn't really see that last year, but you guys have found a way to work this racetrack a lot better than they did last year, and we're seeing these guys stay in their respective positions a lot more. Chase Buck all over the back bumper, though, of Fitzwater, trying to be in position in case something happens to Bartor or Rogel Dorn. I mean, we saw Matthew Hubert blow a piston there. He's not going to make it into the feature, unfortunately, because of that. Oh, boy. Kirsten Bell and Eric Monaco in the back there, and Kirsten had enough of that 11.
Short track tempers, that there between the 93 and the 11. Could see more of that here in the feature here tonight. But we are running out of time here in the last chance qualifier number 2. And it's looking pretty good for Dorn and Bo to make it into the main show.
And they've got enough of a gap at this point, and Bartos still has a second on Fitzwater. So unless a caution comes out here and stacks them up, I think it's pretty safe to say that Rogel Dorn and Trey Barto are going to advance on to the feature event. These guys battling for third, but, you know, it just might be too little too late, just like how it was in the first LCQ, and Chase Buck might finally have it on Fitzwater. We'll have to see if this 32 is fast enough to close in on Barto. He's got to make up a second in 5 laps. It's possible that he can do it, but I just don't know if that's going to be the case. It's going to be more than a second now. Ace Garcia, that opens the door for Garcia, and Garcia might take third. But it's all for nothing if they can't get around Trey Barto or Rogel Dorn for those top 2 spots. 4 to go in LCQ2 for Rogel Dorn and Hamel Racing Enterprises.
And yeah, this race just shows how Rogel Dorn is probably coming on into 2024. He had a good 2023. I believe he won 1 race only, but he definitely tried to get into the chase, couldn't do it, but he'll probably do this year if he continues with this pace, especially considering that he moved up to HRE to Hamel Racing, which is probably one of the greatest teams in the channel up until today. And honestly, hopefully he can have a great season just showing up here in this SmoothFest tonight.
It's a shame that this isn't for anything, because this is a great battle for third between Garcia, Buck, Fitzwater, and Avery Alford there. White flag for Rogel Dorn. And then Trey Barto comfortably in a league of his own. These guys have battled so much that they're now 3 seconds behind. And how about Rogel Dorn in the 74? He's going to make it onto the SmoothFest after starting on the outside lane in the LCQ. And Trey Barto will join him. His last 2 drivers to make it onto the feature. He's Garcia, Fitzwater, Chase Buck, Avery Alford, Eric Monaco, Kirsten Bell, Matthew Hubert, and Brad Stover all failed to qualify. That was interesting. We had a pass there. We've seen a lot tonight. They haven't been quite as crazy as they were last year, but now we've got the feature. Now we got 75 laps. We got 24 cars in the field, and they're all going to be going for the marbles because it's an official win. And what a way to start off the year by winning the SmoothFest. Igor and Nathan, how do you think it's going to play out?
No, I think it's going to be a great race. We have 75 laps ahead of us, 24 cars on the track. I believe it's definitely going to be more chaotic than the heats and the LCQs, but still going to be a great race. And definitely those who are starting up front, those who won or finished mostly a second in the heats, probably are going to have the best shot at winning this SmoothFest, the future of it.
Yeah, I agree with what Amigo just said there, with track position being a little bit more important this year than what it was last year. I think definitely if you're still in the top 10, you'll have the best shot. But at the same time, it is 75 laps, the longest race of the night. It's gonna be a fun one for the feature race up to the Mello Yello SmoothFest.
We're excited, and we're just around the corner to do it. Igor, you have a great rest of your night. You didn't win it, unfortunately. Josh and Nathan have a better average starting, but hey, you get some rest, and good luck with Drew Webb and Angel Olvera. And we'll bring Josh back in the booth, and just be like last year with Josh, Nathan, and I calling the feature event. We'll see how it all goes down. 24 guys in the field. You see the starting lineup, by the way, on your screen right now. That's how they're going to line up for this feature event. 75 laps, no pit stops. It's all in the line, all in the marbles for the feature win of the Mello Yello SmoothFest. Who's going to get it done here on this Friday night to open up the season? Let's find out right now. We have now set the field, the 24 drivers who will be battling for 75 laps around this new Smyrna Speedway. It's the Mello Yello SmoothFest, and it is all up for grabs here tonight for the opening race of the season. Non-points, of course, but let's see who gets it done. 75 laps, let's see how crazy it gets. A lot of heavy hitters up front, and a lot of big names looking to steal this win to open up the season. And hello once again, we are here, and it is time for the feature event of the Mello Yello SmoothFest. All the heats, all the LCQs leads up to this, and we are ready to hand out a trophy here tonight to open up the Wawa Cup Series for 2024. And I got Josh Williamson, Nathan Stapleton alongside me. Both of you guys have both of your full-time drivers in this field here tonight. What is it going to take for any of these guys to go to victory lane for 75 laps here at New Smyrna Speedway?
Well, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath tonight. This is the event for where, in all honesty, you could set yourself on the path towards a championship going forward if you get momentum on your side tonight. I know it may not seem like a big deal because the next racetrack we go to is a big 1.5 mile oval, and it is not even close to being like this. You don't have a lot of short tracks on the schedule, I don't believe, but this is a morale booster for the driver. It could be a morale booster for the team. And like I said, big morale boost could mean that they're motivated further down the line. It could be the kind of thing that sets them on their stride towards a championship. So definitely going to drive real hard and real aggressive around here to get their season off to a good start.
Yeah, without a doubt, a lot like what Josh said there. This race can either kick off the race to a title or it will set you behind a little bit. It's not for points, but it's all about potential momentum. Because we saw Bryon Keys, he won this race last season and he was pretty solid throughout the rest of the season, and of course won the finale, I believe, as well. So this is a massive morale booster. A lot like Josh said, and whoever wins here tonight will definitely have a lot of momentum going into the next week at Homestead when the season actually starts.
It's going to be very fascinating to see how this ends up shaking out because we got 24 cars in the field, like you guys said. This is the biggest field that we've had all night. And the Sprint Series was here on Wednesday. Now, they went caution-free up until the end, and the caution was only because of a mechanical issue. But I think with these guys have been around the block a few more times than those Sprint Series drivers, and you know what? They don't really care anymore. You know, we got some guys who have been up there, and they ain't gonna give an inch tonight, especially those starting on the front row. Logan Williams, Justin Zajdel won Heat 1 and Heat 2. Logan Williams won the Southern 500 last year, the last race of the season, looking to start off the season in that same exact spot here tonight, and there's a good chance he could pull it off. Behind him, you got Thomas Troxel and Andrew Miller, winners of Heat 3 and 4. And then our defending champion, Drew Webb, starting in the 5th position right there, with Bruno Di Giacomo there alongside him, starting in the 6th position. Now, Di Giacomo, this is a huge race for him, a huge deal starting there in 6th. Your driver there, Josh, watch out for him, starting alongside all these veterans. It's going to be fun to see him tonight. Here's your defending winner of the Mello Yello SmoothFest, Blaine Keys in the 41, alongside Brady Mardi Gras there in the 47. Jesse Turner is back, America, and here he is starting 9th in this SmoothFest, and watch out, he could end up going to victory lane from that position alongside Seth Cole. We got Roberto Crown Jr., great start for them here tonight alongside Travis Crampton in row number 6. Angel Olvera, winner of the Central Florida 200 on Wednesday night, to the inside of Loudovick Charette. Definitely one of the hottest drivers coming into this season. Angel Gutierrez and Samet Ozkin, both in their first SmoothFest here tonight, or at least in this edition of the SmoothFest. I think Ozkin's actually been in the SmoothFest before, just not here at New Smyrna. Bernardo de Oliveira in the 57 to the inside of Nicolas Samudio. Skylar Taylor, another Sprint Series driver to the inside of Matt Tuck there in row at number 10. And then our drivers who advanced on from the LCQs. Bryce Eagan in the 69, 1 LCQ number 1. Rogel Dorn, 1 LCQ number 2. Then it was Tanner Partin and Trey Bart to the last 2 transfer spots into the feature event for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. That is your 24-car field for the opening event of the season here from New Smyrna Speedway. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just a couple minutes from the green flag here in this Mello Yello SmoothFest. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for the 75-lap feature here in New Smyrna. And we'll get these guys to roll off here from New Smyrna Speedway. Josh and then Nathan. Who's going to victory lane here tonight in the Mello Yello SmoothFest feature event?
Well, I'm not going to go too deep in the field for this one, but I'm not going to pick from the first, and I'm not going to pick from the second row. I'm going to go with the defending series champion Drew Webb there, the Aflac number 99, to go to victory lane here at New Smyrna.
And for me, I'm going to go with someone that I think will be the first winner on the channel. I think they will have a good year. Partin is going to kick off here tonight.
We'll have to see how it all goes down. Here we go! The season's underway! It's the Mello Yello SmoothFest from New Smyrna Speedway! Ooh, look at this, side by side across the line for lap 1 of the feature event. Thomas Troxel. And how about your guy there, Josh? Bruno Di Giacomo cutting down to the inside, and guess what? In 2 laps, he's going to take the race lead.
How about that?
I bet you like that, don't you?
The team. Oh boy, Webb
getting
just
at you right there between Drew Webb.
To the inside.
Exactly. Oh my. We weren't prepared for this now, were we? 3 wide back in here. Turner, Crown Jr., Andrew Miller.
Contact.
Oh boy, you know, we were saying at the top of the show, these guys, they're going to be a lot more antsy right there.
Baby.
Turner and Crown a little close. Olvera there. Marty Cross a little loose. Here comes Angel Gutierrez trying to join the party, but they're all led by Bruno Di Giacomo, rookie to the Wawa Cup Series this year, and he is putting it down with the big dogs here tonight.
I thought Troxel was going to have a chance to get to the inside, but he slid up too, as did Giacomo. And down the back stretch, it is Troxel second, Webb in third, and here comes last year's winner, Keys to the inside. Not going to make it stick for the time being, but here comes Crown trying to cut to the inside.
Oh yeah, they are ready. They are hungry to finally go to victory lane on the channel, and this is a huge opportunity for them. Driving for Dracone Racing Enterprises. Hey, this car won twice last year. Won the opening race at Homestead, and then won the Daytona 500. Oh, brother. They're leaning on each other all over the place. This is Angel Olvera for Titan Fury Racing. Sprint Series driver, won the Sprint Series race on Wednesday night, and here he is, almost going top 5 here in the feature for the SmoothFest. He's getting in the Keys, though. Oh boy, and Keys is wide through the corner. And they really got loose and goosey right there. Oh my goodness. Nathan, I haven't let you say a thing, but what's going on here? Oh, Matt Tuck's around.
No.
I don't know if that's a caution.
No caution.
No caution yet, so we keep it clean and green. That's a tough break there for Matt Tuck, who just got spun around. You see that in the corner of your screen. Roberto, by the way, up to second. Here comes Drew Webb, Thomas Troxel. They're battling.
Well, slide off from Webb was crazy. So I think that made up for all the calm action that we've seen so far tonight. And Josh, I think we might know something. 1-2 for our 2 pits. But wait, while still in, not to see what will happen here, as things will hopefully start maybe calming down a little bit with this being the 75 lap race. The 28 is starting to pull away, and here comes the defending champion to the inside of Crown Jr.
Lots of battling going on, even further behind out of turn number 4. I believe that's Andrew Miller to the inside. It is Miller to the inside of Blaine Keys. A couple of Hershey cars side by side. Jesse Turner on the outside there in car 82. And there's the 36 down to the inside. That is Angel Gutierrez, now going for that spot on the 41 of Blaine Keys, who won this race 1 year ago. Slipping back on the outside, Jesse Turner is about to give Blaine Keys the how do you do down to the inside, and he's seeing deja vu. Blaine Keys got a couple of Hershey cars going by him down low.
Not a good start for our pole sitter of Logan Williams. He has slipped back the second half of the field. Now down in the 13th position. That's Sam Odoskin right ahead of him right there in the 73. You know, this has been way wilder than what we anticipated after seeing the heats and LCQs, but I think we did something that may have changed the track a little bit. You two know what I'm talking about. I'll leave it at that. Drew Webb is up to second. Troxel there is looking to take second away. And Roberto Crown Jr. up here. How about Brady Mardi Gras? Up to the 5th position. They were second in their heat right there. Troxel taken away from Drew Webb. They're all still being led by Bruno Di Giacomo, who is starting to pace this field a little bit. He's got a near second lead on the field.
Massive mistake from Troxel. That's going to cost him 1, maybe 2 positions as the defending champ to the inside. Crown Jr. is going to step up to the top side. We have a 5-way battle for the second place spot. And here comes my favorite draw of the name in the series, Brady Mardi Gras, up to second potentially here.
How about this for Brady Mardi Gras on the 47? You know, this is such a great battle for second. This is what we saw a lot of last year in the feature event, is once Blaine Keys took that lead away, you know, there was nothing. Oh, no! Drew Webb just got put in the wall by Mardi Gras. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, he put the champion in the wall. And look at who just took second. Angel Olvera in the 31. How about this? Will the Sprint Series driver pull it off on the SmoothFest? It's a 2-second lead, though, for Di Giacomo as he's going to lap Matt Tuck here, who got caught up in that accident earlier on in the race. You know, I'm surprised we have not had an accident yet that has brought out a caution. Obviously, we had the spin right there from Tuck earlier, but, you know, we could very well still end up with a caution at some point in this race, the way these guys are racing, and there it is.
Well, okay.
That's
oh,
on
and
cue.
you know what? I think it was our defending champion
no.
of this SmoothFest, Blaine Keys, who went around. And Di Giacomo's lead, it's erased right there. Oh, boy, time to catch our breath. Oh, my.
Wow.
You know, I think I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right here. You know, we had some good heats, good LCQs. Nothing wrong with what we saw right there. Just learned something about track type here tonight. And I think that is why we saw these guys a little bit calmer. So I want to preface this by saying we had an initial run going. We had issues with the caution laps and all that. We changed the track type back to short track. And I thought only the chassis type had that effect, but not the case. And once we swapped it back to short track, oh my goodness, we let the dogs out, didn't we? It's going all over the place here in this feature event for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. And well, look at what Bruno Di Giacomo just did right there. He started 6th, cut down right at the start, took the lead lap 2, and hasn't looked back since. I know you're happy about that, Josh.
Yeah, to paraphrase the late, great Barney Hall, they don't quite race them like they do at New Smyrna Speedway. Bruno Di Giacomo has just sat up front and said, guys, keep it up, and everybody's just gone hog wild behind. What a race so far, and we're not even a third of the way done.
Well, we did have a moment with Blaine Keys. Let's go ahead and see what happened in that moment to bring up the first caution of the night here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest from New Smyrna Speedway. Well, our first caution of the night here in the feature, and they got 3 wide. Bryce Eagan, aggressive move there with Logan Williams in the 95. A bit too aggressive for Bryce Eagan. Up into Blaine Keys, who's on that outside. Last year's winner of this SmoothFest. And he just scraped it a little too much. This was it, though. This is what triggered the caution. And then you saw in the corner of your screen the Matt Tuck incident that happened on lap 8. Did not bring out a caution. We had Rogaldor and all these guys coming towards that 41, and that was enough to trigger it right there. And then Bruno Di Giacomo was just lapping Matt Tuck when the caution, in fact, came out. So, very interesting moment right there. But thankfully, a minor incident here to bring out the first caution of the night here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest feature event.
Here we go, 3 wide. It's normally a tight situation at New Smyrna, and it is right here. Eagan and Williams kind of have a little bit of beef down the front stretch, and sails Williams into Keys, and unfortunately, sends the defending winner up the SmoothFest into the wall. Very minor damage to that purple and yellow Mountain Dew Chevy, and unfortunately, that's going to hurt his chances at winning.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why we saved the replay, guys. It's all
Oh.
good. Hey, Blaine Keys still in this race. We'll see what he does on the restart with Bruno Di Giacomo leading here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. All right, well, we're having some fun now, aren't we? This was the SmoothFest we remembered from last year. Our first caution, though, in a feature of the SmoothFest. In quite some time. SmoothFest's been around a while. Been at Daytona, been at Homestead. I think the best edition of this race has been here in the new Smyrna Speedway, and we're in store for a great one here tonight. Bruno Di Giacomo, your race leader. Be 50 laps to go when they cross the line. You got Angel Olvera, Sprint Series winner from Wednesday, in second. What an upset this would be if he could pull this off. Thomas Troxel, Brady Mardi Gras, Roberto Crown Jr., the top 5, and you got Miller, Loudovick Charette, Drew Webb. 73 there of Salmon Oskin and Angel Gutierrez. Matt Tuck is a lap down, and he could get in the way of Di Giacomo if he's not careful.
Could get interesting. Oh, Olvera's going to try to get past Tuck. Olvera right now is probably saying, Tuck, please get out of my way so I can race the leader of the 28 machine. And like you said, Alex, this would be a massive upset if a Sprint Series driver can come in and just steal the SmoothFest victory here at New Smyrna.
This would definitely be an impressive race victory. Oh boy, but things are getting wild again.
Oh,
Brady Mardi Gras almost got spun by Roberto Crown Jr. What an opportunity for these top 4, I should say. None of them, actually top 5 now. Loudovick Charette, here he comes. We've talked a lot about Loudovick Charette during the offseason and how anticipated we are for him to be at Groton Autosport. Well, this is a huge opportunity for him to get his second career win on the channel. He's never won a points-paying race in the Cup Series, but finished 6th in the standings last year with Andrews Racing. Mardi Gras for second on Olvera. Oh boy, a little tight there. Roberto Crown Jr. looking to close in. They're a lot closer to Di Giacomo now than they were earlier on. I bet you're a little nervous about this, aren't you, Josh?
Oh, a little nervous. I know Bruno's like, I'm just...
Oh, and around! Andrew Miller! And the upside down as well! Oh, and a hard hit there with Logan Williams. And that'll do it for Miller here tonight. And Oskin is probably out as well. They gotta be careful. Oh boy, hopefully it's cleared up. Giacomo, oh my goodness, they gotta be careful around this 73, and Angel Olvera was not as careful as he could have been.
Yeah, just a little bit of a kiss there on the front. Didn't look like too much was on that 31. Just a little bit of a smooch.
Well,
goodness sakes.
Well,
sorry,
we just had a flip.
Sorry, track crew. We might have flipped twice and spilled power all over the racetrack. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for Andrew. He was inside the top 10, and well, good thing it's a non-points race.
Just because you have Powerade on the car doesn't mean you have Powerade in the car. If you know, you know. So, tough break. Tough break for your team as a whole right there. I think Crampton might have gotten a piece of that when he's down the pit lane as well. Blaine Keys got a piece of it. Not been a good night for the defending race winner of the Mello Yello SmoothFest. And Sam Oskin is also going to be out as well. And so will our pole sitter, Logan Williams. We let him loose tonight, boys, didn't we? Not even halfway. Bruno Di Giacomo is your race leader still. Roberto Crown Jr., Brady Mardi Gras, Angel Olvera back in the 4th. That is where he crossed the line, but he did tap that 73 on the cooldown lap. And you got Loudovick Charette 5th. Thomas Troxel, hey, it's Jesse Turner in 7th. Trey Bartow is 8th. Drew Webb and Angel Gutierrez, the top 10. Getting wild out there. Let's see what happens when we got the second caution of the night here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest and get back to racing here in New Smyrna Speedway. Well, 3 wide doesn't work, which means 4 wide isn't, and that's essentially what they were here off the exit of the corner. Drew Webb, of all people, getting in the Salmon Oskin, shooting up in the Miller, and upside down goes the 97 of Andrew Miller. And man, just wait until you see what he does afterwards here, because he's actually still in the race. He's 2 laps down. They got him back out there, and he landed on his roof. He didn't actually get back on all fours, but they were able to keep him out there. Logan Williams hard into him, and that's going to knock Williams out. And Blaine Keys again caught up in an accident. Tough break for Blaine. After winning this race last year, it does not look like he's going to get it this year. And then Ozkin here is way off the pace, and with this being a short track, not much room for these guys to go. Yeah, I think it was Angel Olvera who comes through here, and whammo. Right on the 73 right there. Nothing too major, but might slow down that 31 a little bit, who is going to restart fourth here. What an excellent job by this Sprint Series driver who won on Wednesday night. But the guy who's leading is Bruno Di Giacomo. Let's real-time this replay and then get back to racing here at New Smyrna Speedway.
So here we are going into 3 and 4. Miller slides up, Turner to the inside, Webb into the back of Ozkin, and some rodeo ride for both Miller and Ozkin. But the rodeo ride isn't just over yet for Miller. Another hit there from Williams. Blaine Keys gets stopped as well. A little bit of a nudge to keep that 97 on his roof. Keys is just like, well, you ain't going anywhere. So into the pits goes Miller, and again he got back out on the racetrack, sort of in the style of Dale Earnhardt in 1997 at Daytona. Rolls over, gets back into the pits, says, I'm going right back out there, and I don't care what you say.
Travis Crampton came down the pit lane, was not involved in the accident, and took tires. That's all I'm going to say about that. Your race leader is Bruno Di Giacomo in the 28. Let's see what he does in the restart here. New Smyrna Speedway. We're back here at the Mello Yello SmoothFest. It hasn't been as smooth as it started out. Going to restart with 39 laps to go here in the feature event. Bruno Di Giacomo, your race leader in the 28 machine. I know you're liking that, Josh. Your driver there. You know, you were telling me behind the scenes there that he was the guy you were looking at number 1. You picked Turner number 1, of course. How could you not? But then Giacomo, your second pick on the draft night a couple weeks ago. Roberto Crown Jr., Brady Mardi Gras, Angel Olvera, Loudovick Charette, the top 5, Troxel 6. Matt Tuck is a lap down from the prior accident. You got Turner, you got Partin back in there, Drew Webb is 9th, and Angel Gutierrez rounding out the top 10. Back underway here in New Smyrna Speedway. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
huge opportunity for Roberto Crown Jr. to the inside for the race lead on lap 37. Not enough. Giacomo holds on.
Great job by Giacomo coming up from the top side to close the door on Roberto Crown Jr. That's going to be trouble in turn 1 and 2, though. Giacomo shoved out wide.
Side.
Crown inside, looking for the lead. Giacomo's got some breathing room for the time being, though, because there's a battle going on for 3rd and 4th as well.
Don't look now. Here comes Loudovick Charette, Turkey Hill Truck Series champion. Oh boy, put Mardi Gras on the wall. Olvera tapped a bit there too. And Troxel now going to take advantage. Hey, watch out for Charette and Troxel. Watch out for Di Giacomo and Crown Jr. Swapping back again there for the lead. And Di Giacomo not going to let Crown have this one easy here tonight. But I know Roberto wants their first career win on the channel. A lot of success in a lot of other leagues throughout the offline NR world. But this will be a huge, huge win for Roberto if they can pull it off here tonight. How about Olvera hanging on to this one? How about Jesse Turner? The return to full-time racing for Turner here on the channel. How about 3 wide? How about Nicolas Samudio?
Going back to Loudovick Charette right there, that's not how you perform a slide job, but it worked out for him. And 3rd, how about 3 wide turns to make it 3 wide? This is crazy action, and would you believe me, I'm only just past halfway here in the feature. Boy, oh boy.
So hard to keep up with everything that's going on. They're starting to calm down a little bit. How about Trey Bartow? How about my man Trey Bartow? I know he likes sheets, but who cares? You know, we encourage diversity here. He is going to the inside of Olvera, pushing him up, and he's taking 4th away. Remember, he barely advanced on. He started 24th in this feature, and he moved up 20 spots. Meanwhile, Roberto Crown Jr. back to the inside of Di Giacomo for the race lead. We've got 31 laps to go on the Mello Yello SmoothFest, and my golly, this has been an excellent race so far. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention this. Andrew Miller's still out there after he flipped twice. He's going to get in the way of our leaders here in a moment, but Roberto Crown Jr. takes it away with 30 to go.
Yeah, I don't know how Mello's still going, but all I can say is maybe I'm gonna sell those out cards differently. I don't know. No, get out of the way!
That was tight. That was tight. You got him, though. More battling there. Turner on Troxel. Here comes Mardi Gras in the 47. Hey, great job out of Brady Mardi Gras here tonight. And how about Bryce Eagan, his first career start on the channel? He's top 10 with these guys. How about that? You know, we really haven't had much of an opportunity to really go through the field because it's just been so much going on up front here. But two drivers looking for their first ever win in the Wawa Cup Series. Of course, not an official Wawa Cup Series win. But, you know, I know all three of these guys would love to go to Victory Lane. And oh my goodness, what a party it would be in Western Pennsylvania if Trey Bartow won here tonight. And you know what? There's a good chance he could pull it off. He's closing in on these top three.
Oh, we are setting up for an absolutely barnstorming finish tonight here at New Smyrna Speedway. 26 laps left in this one, and Blaine Keys up front there in the 41. He's a lap down, or he's at the tail end of the lead lap. He might shake up some things for our leaders here. Roberto Crown Jr. still leads the way. Bruno Di Giacomo is second. Down to the inside goes Crown. Diacomo's going to try to thread the needle down there as well, try to stay with that 5. He's still stuck side by side with that 41, but they're both able to get by the lap traffic again with relative ease.
Yeah,
Loudovick
not too much
as
of an
well.
issue with Blaine Keys. Of course, he was the winner of this race last year. Not going to win it this year. Getting caught up in that accident. I'm really impressed with Roberto Crown Jr. in this one. What an opportunity for them. You know, they were at a team that really didn't really put much resources into their program, unfortunately. But he's moving on to a team that knows what they're doing. Obviously, this team, they had Blaine Keys last year. Hey, this team won the SmoothFest last year, guys. Blaine Keys was driving for Dracoan last year in the SmoothFest. However, Bruno Di Giacomo is not going to let him have it easy. Back to the inside for the race lead here on lap 54.
Man, oh man, side by side for the race lead. And Crown Jr., I think they will have a really good season this year in that 5 machine because Blaine Keys did. So I know that team is going to be really good and have to see if they can go 2 in a row with the Coleman Racing in the SmoothFest. But it's going to come down to 20 laps to go, and now we have a 3-way fight. But if things get wild, watch out for Mr. Barlow in that number 4.
You said we need a nickname for Trey Bartow. We'll see if he earns one here tonight. Oh boy, don't count out Loudovick here. That 51 is going to really be going for it on these two guys, especially considering, you know, the opportunity that he has. I know he wants to start this season on the right foot, and he's right there on the back bumper of Crown Jr. Diacomo still up front as well. I want to go through the field, you know, showcase some of the guys who are in this race, but I tell you, you know, we got a lot going on. How about Bryce Eagan? How about Travis Crampton? He was caught up. He was at the tail end there. The restart, he's now up to 7th there. Samedio's in the top 10. There's Skylar Taylor. Angel Olvera fell back. Mardi Gras, Seth Cole. Jesse Turner's falling back. The Olvera in the 57. Drew Webb, Tanner Partin, Rogaldorn. They've all been all over the place, and that's what you get. You saw that in the corner of your screen. They're 3 wide. Roberto's back out front. Ludovic's up to 2nd.
Giacomo trying to hang on the high side. Charette down to the inside of Crown, heading off into turn 3. Giacomo trying to figure out where to go. Charette's going to take the lead out of the corner. Yes, indeed. But here comes Bruno down to the inside, looking for 2nd on Crown. And here comes Mr. Bartow.
Mr. Bartow. That might just be his nickname, Mr. Bartow. Oh, Charette's wide and stuck behind Miller. And this is the perfect opportunity for Trey Bartow. He's on the back bumper of Roberto Crown Jr. And Crown's to the inside of Giacomo trying to get it. Couldn't quite do it. I tell you what, Bruno has done such an excellent job holding these guys off here tonight. And you know what? If either him or Crown get this win, they absolutely deserved it. Bartow's 3rd, Loudovick Charette is 4th, and it's still on here in New Smyrna Speedway for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. I tell you what, we've got ourselves a good one here tonight on the short track in Central Florida. It's 13 laps to go here in this SmoothFest for 2024.
I have something that might be a little bit biased, but this is true. Watch out and P5. Travis Crampton, I think they did some strategy. He is on fresh tires and he is moving.
They have fresh tires. You are right. You are right. We also have a caution. We also have Blaine Keys in the middle of the racetrack, taking out Loudovick Charette. Unbelievable.
Loudovick Charette.
Oh my goodness.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more wild, I tell you what. And guess what? Crampton came through there, and he's fourth, but you're exactly right about that. Travis Crampton has the fresh Goodyears, and this 98, who got caught up in that second accident, may end up seeing this one. That is such a shame for Loudovick Charette, who got caught up there with Blaine Keys, who is just the wrong place at the wrong time for something like that, and that is why in real life they got rid of racing back to the line. Obviously we could. There's better cautions. We keep it as is in the game just so it doesn't get too messy and, all that. Wow, that was, wow. We were the one to notice that, obviously. It's your team. What about Travis Crampton in this 98?
I was a factor here. That could...
Absolutely.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
And, he barely got caught up in that second wreck, came down, took some tires, and he was flying through the field right there. I didn't really think about that when we saw him in 8th place there. I thought, just got lucky, got on the inside. Well, he got some tires, Wow. What in the world? What a feature event this has been. This has been a heck of a lot of fun. And, it's nice because generally the same guys have been up front. Giacomo and Crown have been up front pretty much this entire race, so it's not like they're cycling up front too much. It's just a bunch going on behind them. Thomas Troxel is 5th. He's been hanging in here. Bryce Eagan here. How about Bryce Eagan, his first career star on the channel? He is 6th. Angel Gutierrez is 7th. Seth Cole running 8th. Nicolas Samudio in 9th. And Brady Mardigar running out the top 10. Skylar Taylor is 11th. Angel Olvera is 12th. Jesse Turner 13th. Bernardo de Oliveira in 14th. Drew Webb is 15th. Rogaldorn and Tanner Partin, those are the 17 guys on the lead lap. Lap down is Matt Tuck. 4 laps down is Andrew Miller. Out of the race include Loudovick Charette, Blaine Keys, Justin Zajdel, Logan Williams, and Sam Manoskin from that second accident there. All right, let's see what happened to bring out the third caution of the day. Hopefully it'll be the last one of this feature event in the Mello Yello SmoothFest, and let's see how it all goes down to crown a winner here tonight in Smyrna Speedway. Let's go ahead, though, and see what happened to bring out the third caution here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. Blaine Keys in the 41. We'll speed it up right there. Just something amiss on that machine, and majorly amiss as well. He was not going anywhere. And everyone around him was able to avoid him fairly well, but Loudovick Charette, oh my goodness, this one's they were kind of double wide, and wow, and Roberto got a piece of that as well. I didn't notice that. What a shot there for Loudovick Charette in the 51. Gonna knock him out of the race after running 3rd. He could have had a very good opportunity of possibly winning this race. That's not going to be the case for the Grattan Auto Sport driver. Well, hey, at least it is just a non-points event. Blaine Keys there totaled in the 41 after that hit. And most of these guys trying to avoid it, generally doing a good job avoiding it. Still, though, tough break there for Loudovick in the 51.
Full speed, something goes south on the mountain through the machine for Blaine Keys. If anyways, we're not gonna have a tonight, gonna want to forget tonight even happened. The problem for him. Something goes south, and then Loudovick Charette, who could have a shot at winning this thing, just, well, bam! Huge hit. Upside down.
How do you even do that?
I mean, we saw Miller flip twice, and now Charette upside down.
Well,
real racetrack.
Let's go on board Loudovick there. That's an on-board shot, if there ever was one. On board the 51 of Loudovick Charette. And they just kind of scattered, and he had nowhere to go. Oh, and it's actually Roberto kind of just pushed him down just a little bit. Just a little bit right there. And that was enough. That was enough to knock him out. Tough break for Loudovick. But hey, you know what that sets up? 6 laps to go. It's going to be very, very interesting if Giacomo can hold these guys off. Let's see what happens to bring out. Well, we already saw what happened to bring out the caution. Let's see what happens on the restart here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest at the new Smyrna Speedway. We're back here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Oh my goodness. Hey, it's been a while, you know. Off season, everyone's got the jitters. I have been looking forward to this season for so long, and this race in particular for so long. My goodness, have they delivered here tonight? Can't get this in the Los Angeles Coliseum now, can you? Hey, I still like the Clash, but this is better. Bruno Di Giacomo, your race leader. Roberto Crown Jr. second. Trey Bartow is third. Travis Crampton on fresh tires, by the way. He's fourth. Thomas Troxel, top 5. 6 laps to go here in the SmoothFest. Here we go. Who's going to get it done here on this Friday night?
Fabulous restart by the top 3. Giacomo slides
Look at
wide.
Bartow! Oh, Mao and
Flex!
Flex!
Into the wall behind!
And we got a lot going on behind there. This could be it. Giacomo's going to win the race back to the line. It's 5 to go across the line, and the caution is out.
Oh,
and man, you know, I thought we were going to get one, and it looks like we might not. Seth Cole, Andrew Miller, I think they got caught up there.
And that'll be the night for Miller. It'll be the night for Cole as well. And I think the 36 was also back in there, Angel Gutierrez.
My goodness. I thought we were going to have a green flag finish there.
And it might not be over.
It might not. It's 4 to go across the line right here. The lights would have to go out on lap 74. Possible. It's possible they might stretch it here. Oh man, 4th caution in this feature. And I think a lot of that had to do with Andrew Miller because he was definitely off the pace there and started mid-pack. And Gutierrez caught up. Rogaldorn, I think, got a piece of that one as well. Ah, man, you know, there are times where it's like, oh, should we have been using better cautions and get a overtime finish? But hey, you know, we always have done it this way. A bit traditionalist here. When the race is over, no matter what the lap count is. Whatever the end of the race is, that is what it'll be. The lights would have to go out next time by in order for us to have a restart. We're going to keep it right here and see if that in fact is the case. But Josh, do you want the caution to stay going on here? Because if that's the case, you got a race victory with Bruno Di Giacomo here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest.
Well, it's exactly what Bruno Di Giacomo is thinking. He's thinking of those officials up in the booth. He's saying, "Don't you dare!"
It's the way Roberto and even Trey Bartow were on that restart. I don't know. I don't know if you want it. Of course, we have a longer caution period here for the feature because of the nature of the feature event. It's going to have to go out here, and it's not. That does it. That's going to do it. Bruno Di Giacomo, of course, now he still has to get around and finish, so it's not official yet. That car does have to cross the start-finish line, so he can't blow his engine right here, because otherwise he's going to lose all those positions. However, as long as he keeps it clean, crosses the line, he's going to win it. How about that for the rookie driver? Starting off this season, how about your team there? Getting it done in that 28. Man, if you're Roberto Crown Jr. and Trey Bartow, and even Crampton, because we thought Crampton was going to have a huge advantage with those tires.
Yeah.
Never got the opportunity to see what that was going to end up being. It's a shame, but like I said, we know those rules going in, that if a caution comes out within a certain time frame, that it's going to be over, and that was the case right there. White flag in the air here in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. It looks like we're going to end under caution to open up the season. Bruno Di Giacomo just has to get around, and he is your race winner here at New Smyrna Speedway.
You know, unfortunately, we're going to end the night with a lot of unknowns, because that would have been a fantastic late race 5 or 6 lap dash between the top 4. But that's just how the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and you have to wonder what would happen if the 28 was still up front. And same with the 5 and the 4, and what would happen with those flush drives for the 98.
We'll never know, but hey, we'll have 30 points paying races to see how it's going to shake out long term. Bruno Di Giacomo is going to win the Mello Yello SmoothFest here in New Smyrna Speedway. What a race victory for the rookie driver here And he's happy. He's just driving away, and he's like, yeah, it's all mine.
He wants to get to victory lane. That's what he wants.
He's going for the champagne, baby.
What a win there for Bruno Di Giacomo and your team, Josh. Man.
I'm not used to seeing this 28 up front, man.
I wanted a good finish there, but you know what? We had a great race. Maybe they were a little too antsy, but hey, at the end of the day, what a lot of fun that was. Bruno Di Giacomo wins the Mello Yello SmoothFest, followed by Roberto Crown Jr., Trey Barto, Travis Crampton, and Thomas Troxel. And Seth Cole, Andrew Miller caught up in that last wreck. You're seeing the replay of that right now in the little box right there. My goodness, guys. I know it's just a 9-points event to open up the season. But was that any indication of what we might see once we officially start racing next Friday night at Homestead?
Oh my goodness, if that's any indication of what's going to be going on, this is going to be one heck of a season for sure. What a way to kick it off. Totally, I'm not saying that just because Bruno won, although I am not used to seeing that 28 car being up front in the Wawa Cup Series. Big congratulations to Bruno. Congratulations and just props as well to Crown, Barto, Crampton, Troxel, and everybody that was cycling through the top 5 all night long and just stayed up there. They drove the wheels off their cars for a fantastic showing to kick off their season. So big congratulations to them as well. Crown, I thought might have had a chance to get it if the race had gone green for those last 6 laps, but it was just not to be. But I think Roberto's going to have plenty of opportunities this season to go and put a 1 in the win column. Same for Barto. If this showing is any indication, Travis Crampton as well. A lot of drivers here in the top 10 finishing this one. You're going to have to watch out for the rest of this season because they are going to be dangerous for the remainder of the going. But what a way to kick off the season, and I just know I'm so excited to see how the rest of this goes. My goodness gracious.
I'm going to follow up with Josh there on everything he said. What a fantastic race here tonight at New Smyrna. Just once we got the feature, it went from 0 to 100 really, really quickly here. And I wish we would have stayed green for the final 6 laps and would have been interesting what would have happened with the top 4. Sorry, Roberto, I almost picked you to get the first win, but I think you will have a fantastic season if you keep this up. And same with Barrow, same with Travis. Look, I'm looking forward to what Menace Racing does this season with both 97 and 98, not being biased at all. But just if that is how we kick off the season for a non-points event, I'm very, very excited for the entire 30-race season for the Wawa Cup Series.
I am too. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a lot of fun with these guys throughout the entire year, and the season officially kicks off next Friday night from the Homestead Miami Speedway and the Wawa 400. You know what's up there. And then, of course, the Daytona 500 is 2 weeks from this weekend as well. That right there, one of the biggest races of the season, so these guys are definitely getting ready to get going here in the Wawa Cup Series. What a night it has been here from New Smyrna Speedway. And Bruno Di Giacomo goes to victory lane in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. And what a way to open up the season there for Trinity River Racing. And hey, you know what? He could be a championship favorite once we get down to it near the end of the season. It's a long ways from now. It's 30 weeks from now. We got a lot of time and a lot of racing to go until we crown a champion on Labor Day weekend in the Southern 500. Next week, it's the Wawa 400, next Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG, the channel. And, those rating forms, keep on filling those out if you want to run well. Hint, hint. You know what I'm talking about. And, hey, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing who ends up with the advantage as the season goes along. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been an absolute blast. It took us a while to record it, but you know what? It was all worth it, and we hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as we did. And we'll see you guys next Friday night for the Wawa 400 to open up the season officially here in the Wawa Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Bruno Di Giacomo for grabbing the race victory here in New Smyrna. There aren't any points yet, but hey, here's a little title card congratulating him because he earned it here around this half-mile short track. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton and Josh Williamson, thank you guys so much for joining me. Huge thanks to Igor Barreto as well for joining us earlier in the night. And as always, I will see you guys later.